Good morning, everybody. Good morning, little artists. Welcome to day 2 of the art party. We have created some beautiful artwork yesterday with our crazy yummy cakes. Did you have fun doing the crazy yummy cakes? And are you here? Are you ready for the rockets today? Now, I want to know who is joining me. So go ahead and put your name in the comments and tell me, is this day 1 or day 2 that you're joining me? Go ahead and let me know who is joining me today so I can give you a big shout out because I am so excited to do our second art lesson. Hello, Faith. I know that you are such a great artist and you have been joining all the art parties, so well done. Hello, Hannah is here and she's doing day 2. It's such a great thing that you guys are doing during your school holidays, creating art. We have Molly, Dot, and Rosie are joining for the first time. Hey there, Summer. And you're joining for the first time. Zara and Ethan are back again. Hey there, Lucy. It's Lucy's first day and Lucy turned 7 yesterday. Happy birthday, Lucy. Hey, Lucy. Hey, that's really cool that yesterday we did a birthday cake. Or a celebration cake, kind of like for your birthday. Hi there, Sophie, Archie, and Henry are back. It's so great that you guys are here. I remember your art from our other art parties. Zach and Miles are joining from Sydney. I know I saw Kayla and Michael's artwork from yesterday. It was so great. Chloe is here, so is Hugh, Grace, and Gwen for day 2. And Tabby and Hugo are excited for the first time. I'm excited you're here as well. Thanks for joining me. Hello, Alyssa and Ava and Leah. Hey, are you guys space fans? Because when I put this artwork up for a vote of what we should do today, everyone loved space and rockets. I had no idea. Is that something that you guys love to do as well? It's our project for today. Hi, Isla and Ted and Eva and Chloe. We are going to use watercolors today, so I'm going to go through the art supplies very soon. We have Megan and Killian are back for day 2, and Piper and Hudson, I saw your art from yesterday. Do you know it was so fun for me to go through the comments and see all your amazing artworks? You guys are a talented, creative bunch of little artists. I hope that you know that because we followed along a project yesterday, and do you know what? Every single artwork that you showed me was completely different, which just goes to show how imaginative and unique and creative all of you are. So please never forget that. Hi there, Ellie. It's your first time, and I'm excited that you're here too. Ruby and Summer and Tamana is here, and Alexis, Aquina, and Jamila are here too. Oscar and Adelaide. There are so many of you joining, and it's such a great thing that you guys are spending time in your school holidays to start the day with art. It's a really good practice to get up and start the day with something that you love to do. So I'm so glad that you have decided to do that. Hey there, Sienna and Benji. I think it's Tarana. I think I said that right. Nicola, Sebastian, Haley, Sophie, and Lily. Well done for jumping on. Did you love yesterday's crazy cake? And did you then go ahead and buy a cake, maybe for dessert? Because we had cake on our minds yesterday. You guys came up with the most crazy, colorful, beautiful cakes. If you weren't here yesterday, I want to show you what we did because you can still go ahead and do this lesson. Hi, Leo and Isla and Josie, Lucinda. This was our lesson from yesterday. We did ice cream drip on the top, lollies. So if you missed it, you can find this on the Facebook feed. So you can go ahead and do that one again. Okay, Ella and Harry. And we have Hunter and Frankie, and Leah said she loved the cake. Same, so did I. Okay, now guys, what I'm going to do in just a moment, I'm just giving people a few more minutes to jump on, is go through the art supplies because there's a few extra art supplies that we're going to use today. We're going to do drawing, we're going to do painting, and we're going to do cutting and pasting, okay? There's 4 big skills that are all packed in our art lesson today. So if you are a little person, you might need to go grab your mum or dad to help you cut your rocket out, but I'm sure it'll be fine. You'll handle it great. Hey, Grace Elizabeth, Ruby's from Melbourne and it's her first time. Hi, Lucy and Maeve and Patty. I saw Lucy and Maeve, your artwork from yesterday. Your mummy sent it. It was gorgeous. Clementine is here, so is Gwen and Marco and Orlando. Orlando's joined before. I remember seeing your name. Okay, so Ollie, Harry, Alfie, Angus, Frida, and Hugo. Are you guys, I think you guys are from South Australia. I'm just guessing. I think I've seen you guys here before. Okay. Now, I have a question. What if you've not printed out the art party handout? You don't need to. Don't worry about printing anything out. We're going to just draw it all. So I'm about to go through the art supplies. Are you ready? I want you to kind of put your hand on the things when I say them so that we know we've got all the right things to start with. So here we go. Today, I'm using 2 pieces of paper. Count 1 and 2. 2 pieces. You know why? We're going to do the background first. And on our second piece of paper, we are going to draw and color in our rockets and our spaceship. Okay? So we need 2 pieces of paper. 1, 2. Make sure they are in front of you. Okay, now my painting. I am going to be using watercolor paints. Mine look like this. You might have a set that looks like this. So just grab some watercolor paints. We're going to be using that for the background. Hi there, Ada and Dante. We need a paintbrush. Have you got a paintbrush? And have you got a water jar? Okay. So far, 2 pieces of art paper, watercolors, paintbrush, water jar. Now, one thing that is so fun to use with watercolor paints are a thing called oil pastels. Now, not everyone might have oil pastels, but if you do, I want you to use them. They look like this. They're like really big crayons and they're very waxy and smooth. So here's a tip. If you do not have oil pastels, you can use crayons. Okay, that's my suggestion. So I've got those. Now to draw our rockets, what do you think we need for our rockets? The first thing, I'm going to do all my outlines in a black Sharpie marker. So I've got a black marker. You could just use a normal black marker if you want. And I have my colored markers and my crayons. Have you got those in front of you? Colored markers and crayons. Okay. The very, very last thing we need, I think I just dropped mine. Let me grab it. We need scissors and glue to glue on our rockets. Scissors and a glue stick. So let me know. Say yes in the comments. Have you got everything ready? Say yes in the comments because I want to get started on our background for our space. All right, so let me know. Yes, in the comments, are you ready with all of the things that we are going to be using today? And you know what? If you don't have everything, you just use what you have. That's the fun thing about art. It can still look really cool if you just use what you've got at home. I've got lots and lots of yeses. So let's go ahead and start our art lesson today. I'm going to grab my oil pastels. And if you don't have them, use crayons. Let's go ahead. The first thing I'm going to do are some planets, okay? And you know what? Planets can be whatever color you like. So I'm going to go ahead with red. Choose any color. I don't mind. And so I've got my art paper. It's in the tall position. Do you remember what that was from yesterday? The tall position is called portrait position. So I want us to do a really simple line. So I'm going to start about here. It's about halfway up. Here I go. I'm just going to draw a line that's curve down to the bottom of the page. And this is where I'm going to put one really big planet or a sun. That's all I need. Okay, maybe I'm going to switch my color. And I might switch to this orange. And you know what? I'm going to fill a few little planets or comets or stars. So use whatever color you want to do. So I'm going to put like maybe a big circle here with this big bright orange oil pastel or crayon. I'm going to color it in. So I've got this really big fluoro orange. So let's go ahead and put a planet on. And even with my orange, I might even use like a red and do a few kind of circles on it. Maybe these are from a distance, like big kind of craters in this planet. And the fun thing about crayons and oil pastels is you can color over the top and they mix really well. So I'm just going to outline that however you like to do it. I've got one planet. Let's do another planet, and maybe it's a little bit like Saturn with the big ring around it. Can we go ahead and draw a big Saturn somewhere on our page? So I'm thinking I might do a blue and a green Saturn. So here I go with my green. I'm going to draw like a big circle. My Saturn's going to be kind of big. Big circle like this. Let's see, I'm going to color it in. So I'm using a light green oil pastel or your crayons. I love using these because they're so waxy and they're really smooth to go on. So I've got my big Saturn, and now I'm going to use a darker color, maybe like this really dark blue. And look, I can color over the top. So maybe I'll start at one side, curve around, curve, and then curve back and touch the other side. So I've got the first part of the big ring around my Saturn, and now I'm going to make it thicker. So I'm going to start there again. I'm going to come around, curve to the front. I'm making it thicker now. Tuck it in behind, just like that. And now I can kind of color it in. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's color in that big ring. So guys, with our background, there's no right or wrong way to do this. We are pretty much putting planets. Let's do a comet next, or a shooting star, and some stars in our background before we paint it black. Okay, I've got a small planet, a Saturn. Let's do a comet. So that's ones that kind of shooting through space, and hopefully they never hit us, hopefully. Okay, let's see, pink for me. So I'm doing lots of different colors. Go ahead and choose heaps of bright colors. They're going to stand out really nice on the black. Okay, so maybe here is a good one, because I'm thinking I might put my rocket somewhere in the middle, kind of like this. So let's see. I'm going to draw a big circle and go round and round and round and round and round. And I think in the middle, I've got a light pink. So I might even do like a different color in the middle. I'm going to go round and round and round. So I'm getting that really, really fun, big swirl happening. And so a comet, we need little strokes. So I'm going to stroke like this. So it is like flying down the bottom of the page. And you can even make them a little thicker if you want. Let's make them a little thicker so they stand out when we paint them black. So have you got a planet, maybe Saturn, maybe a comet? We've got our big, big sun here as well. And I think we definitely need some stars. So my stars are going to be yellow. You can do yours yellow, bright orange as well. Let's kind of dabble our page with lots of stars. Can we do that? And I wonder, has anyone taught you how to do a star before? Do you want to follow me? If this is the easy way I know how to do star. I'm going to go straight line, then down, across. I'm going to do back, join it up. That's how I find stars really easy. And then I'm going to color it in. So that's one way to do a star. Do you want me to show you another way to do a star? The other option is this. I'm just going to do a line and then another line across, straight line and down. So you can do stars with a whole heap of lines as well. So let's go ahead. I want to add at least 5 stars. Can you do that for me? Let's go ahead. Add at least 5 over your page. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a bunch of these bright yellow stars. 1, 2, let me see. I'll put one down here. 3. So our space, if we were to see this through a telescope, it should look super colorful. That's what I'm hoping. Really colorful. Okay, I've got 5 now, and I might just add 6. I have 6 stars. So go ahead and tell me, count up what you've got on your page and put it in the comment. How many things are on your page? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this one. There's a really big shape here. 10. I've got 10 things on my page. Have you got about 10? What number have you got? Put that in the comments because that'll tell me if we are ready to get out our paints and paint our space background. How many things have you got? Have you got the really big planet? Have you got maybe Saturn, smaller planet, comet, and a bunch of stars? Okay, lots of you have got 14, Ellie, fantastic. We've got 12, 8, 10, 6, that is good. All of those numbers are great. So if you have those things, I think we are ready to pull out our paints. I'm going to put the lid on my oil pastels. Go ahead and do that now. Put the lid on your oil pastels, pop them away. We don't need them anymore. And now we are going to pull out our paints. Okay, now a few of you, if you are still drawing your planets, don't worry, you keep drawing and you can just kind of watch and imagine the next step. So everyone, you want to choose 2 colors for your big shape. 2 colors that go really well together. So I'm going to give you a hint. I want you to choose 2 warm colors. Do you know what warm colors are? They're colors like yellow, orange, red, pink. Warm colors are ones that make you feel warm. Or choose 2 cool colors like green, blue, purple. Okay? Choose 2 colors. For me, I'm going to choose warm. I'm going to do yellow and red because for me, this is going to be the sun. Kind of like this one. Green and yellow actually do work well. They're not cool or warm. Green is a bit cool. Yellow is a bit warm. They do work well. But choose 2 colors. And I want you to paint with the lightest color. So mine, I'm choosing yellow and red because I'm doing a sun. My big planet is the sun. Yours might be Pluto or Uranus or something different. If you want to do one of each, someone said, can you do one of each? They just got to blend really nicely together. So that's why it's great to choose either warm or cool. So what I'm going to do, here I go. I'm choosing one color and I'm choosing the lightest. And I'm going to paint my big shape here. I'm doing yellow. So you might have done blue and purple. You might have done blue and green. You might do pink and purple. They might mix really well together. Mine is yellow and red. So I am going ahead and putting some yellow on the page. And I can see it's really shiny. If I have a look closely, the water, because it's really wet, is reflecting in the light. It's shiny. So what I want you to do while it's still shiny, I want you to grab your second color. So mine is like this reddy orange. And what I want you to do is I want you to drop, dab it on that little yellow bit or whatever color, dab it on and watch it blend. Now mine's dripping down the page because it is upright, but it's also blending. So I want you to dab in the second color. It's a little bit darker and watch it blend. And we're going to get this really nice blended effect. Hey, how cool is that? So now I'm going to go back to my yellow. I'm going to put a little bit more yellow on the page. And then I'm going to get my darker color, which is my orangey red, and I'm going to dab it in just a little bit on my paintbrush right now. And I'm going to dab, 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 dab it in. And sometimes you can kind of move it around with your little paintbrush. You can just kind of move it around and let the water on the page just help it mix in. And it looks a really fun effect. So I'm just helping the little red kind of mix in, but I'm not kind of blending it too much. I'm going to grab that darker color, that orange. And so I'm just going to go a little slower. Mine is actually going quite quick because I had a lot of water on the page and it just blended really quickly. But I want you to try this effect. Now, do you know what it's called? This painting technique is called wet on wet. We are painting our page wet with a color, and then we're putting another wet color on top. So it's called wet on wet. And that's a really fun technique to try, especially for this kind of spacey texture that we want on this big planet. Okay, now let's see. Maybe I think I need a little bit more yellow, and I'm just going to dab, 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 dab this up here and just kind of blend it into it looks nice for you. However you think it looks nice for you. We don't want it too smooth because planets are kind of rough. They have big craters in. All right. Are you ready to move on to the next step? Have you painted your big planet? Mine is like the sun. If you can imagine, my sun is like a big fireball. So it kind of looks like heaps of flames. So that is one thing we have learned today. Already, we have learned the wet on wet technique with watercolor. It is a really, really fun one to keep on trying and practicing. Okay, so if you are still painting, go ahead and keep going with this big planet because the next step is super easy. Do you know what it is? What do you think we've got to do next? This has got to be all black. We've got to paint that all black. Black is kind of a scary color to use sometimes. Do you know why? Because once you paint something black, you can't remove it. It's black forever. So what I suggest we do is grab our paintbrush. Let's head into the black. And if you are still painting your planet, you go ahead and finish because the next step, all we're doing is painting back and forth black. So it's really easy. So here I go. I'm getting a bit of black. And what I'm going to do is just go all the way across and back. All the way across and back. Now, do you know what I can do with my oil pastels? I can go straight over the top. That's what's really, really fun about using oil pastels is they resist the watercolor paint. So that means you don't have to go around your planet if you don't want to. You could go over the top if you've used oil pastels. So I think I'm actually going to go around my big planets because I do want them to stay really bright, but I might go over my stars. So guys, if you are up to this point, I want you to just grab black. Don't rush this step, okay? Let's just paint this really carefully. And I'd love to see your paintbrush strokes left to right really smooth. Let's not paint like this. Don't be crazy with your arms. Let's go left to right because we really, really want to try and get this black background really, really nice and smooth. So I imagine you're going to go into the water, grab a bit of black, paint a bit. Then you're going to have to go back into the water, grab a bit of black and paint a bit. So we're going to go into the paint palette in the water quite a lot with the background. Okay, who is painting their galaxy, their black background, left to right, really, really, really smooth brush strokes? Because what we will do once everything is black, we will get our next piece of paper and draw and color in our rockets. And you know what? By the time we've done that, we can cut them out and paste them on because I'm sure it should be dry. So you let me know, are you painting your black background at this point? And if you are, let's keep our brush strokes really nice and smooth. For me, I'm wiggling around my planet just because I want to paint, want them really nice and bright. I could go over them if you wanted. You definitely could go over them with oil pastel, but I'm going to keep them nice and bright. So you guys tell me in the comments, where are you up to? Are you painting your black background? Go ahead and let me know, because that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of taking my time. I'm going really lovely and slowly because I want my brush strokes to be really nice and smooth, okay? So after this, once we have finished our black background, we're going to do two different types of rockets. One's going to be let me see, what do we call this? Like a spaceship. And one is going to be a rocket. And you can choose, do you want to put both on or maybe just one? And we are going to cut them out and paste them on. Okay, now I am just making sure I'm getting all the edges and I'm moving down my page slowly. And lots of you guys are on your black, which is great. And you're hopefully, you know what? Move your arm, left to right, your whole arm. A lot of the time when we're doing painting, you actually have to use your whole body to create your artwork rather than just your little wrist. It's a really, really great way to keep consistent if you use the whole body or your whole arm while you're painting, especially big strokes like this. If you have a really little paintbrush like I do today, it's going to take you a little longer to paint your background. I probably should have used a bigger paintbrush because it's quite a big space. But lots of you guys are doing your black background. Now, guess what? Today, partway through the lesson, I am going to show you some of the beautiful cake artworks that you guys put in the comments yesterday. So from yesterday's class, you showed me all of the amazing artworks, and I am going to share some of them today. And so it's really important. At the end of this lesson, you can go ahead, take a photo, put it in the comments, and I might give you a big shout out tomorrow as well for your space. Okay. Woo! That's a lot of painting. I am halfway there. Where are you up to? Are you halfway there? Because I am just moving down the page. And you know what? When I get to the bottom of the page, maybe that's when I can share all the paintings, the cakes from yesterday, because that might give some of you a little chance to catch up on your painting, and then we can get to drawing our rockets, which is going to be super fun. So here I go. I'm just going to finish off this. So I want you to, now, can you see I'm going over the edge of my page? This is kind of a good one to have newspaper under your artwork. So you can kind of go all the way to the end of your page and get it really, really nice, smooth edge. And I just went totally over the top of my oil pastel right now. Okay, now where are you guys up to? I'm about to share, I think I'm going to share some cakes next, unless you're ready for the rockets. Do you want to tell me, are you ready for the rockets, or should I share the little artworks from yesterday and give you some time to catch up? You let me know who is ready for rockets, or do you need a moment to keep painting? Okay, I am nearly done. I'm just going around this edge. We have a pretty cool, pretty cool spacey background. How cool. It is black. It is looking great. Now, if you stand back Do you see any bits you need to touch up? So I do. So just go ahead and check. Do you have any bits where you just need to touch up? And for me, I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to leave that and I'm going to put my paints away. And this point, I am going to share some artwork from yesterday. So if you have finished, put your artwork aside and grab your fresh bit of paper. I want you to do that while I go ahead and share the most amazing artwork from yesterday. Are you ready? Take a look at these. So here we have Kiana and Sophia and Michael. Now, these ones are just so fantastic. Kiana and Sophia put little smiley faces on their cake. They're like little characters. And can you see with Michael, you have colored, it's almost like a huge big rainbow or extra coloring around your cake. Well done for both of you guys. These are so creative and wonderful. Here is Lucy and Maeve. Now, Lucy had actually patterns on her cake and patterns on her cake stand. We didn't even do that, but Lucy added it. And Maeve has the most little fancy flamingo standing with one little leg pointed out on top of her cake with some lollipops. Well done, you girls. These are awesome. Here is Henry and Kayla. Now, I really loved these ones because I can tell you guys focused a lot on the coloring. So your coloring is really neat. I can see that the direction of your crayons and your markers is all the same. And you did a fantastic job, Kayla, of adding like a little background to your crazy cake as well, which we didn't do in the lesson, but you went ahead and added it. So well done to you two. We have Henry and Archie. It is so great to see your art, this art party. Now take a look at Henry and Archie. They added a table to their artwork. Well done, you two. And actually, there's Piper and Hudson next. I think Piper added a table too. And I really think your color scheme of the pinks and the warm colors, yellow and orange, Piper, that is so fun. Hudson had the biggest ice cream dripping down his cake that I've ever seen. And here is Grace. Well done, Grace, for so many extra details. You've got lollipops, rainbows. I can see heaps of like wobbly lines towards the bottom of your cake as well. So these ones are just all so colorful. I really enjoyed seeing those. Now, I wanted to tell you while we are here, do you know what? The art party finishes on Thursday, but I wanted to give you some ideas of how you can keep creating all holidays or on weekends or after school. So I put together my favorite video art lessons in a bundle. And I have put together one called the Fantasy Art Bundle. It's got mermaids and fairies and unicorns and castles, balloons and swans. So all of those lessons are in a beautiful package. They're all videos. You can paint along with me. And that is in my shop online. And then for people who love animals, I did a creatures bundle just for you too. I only did this yesterday, but I thought that you guys would love it because you're so super creative and arty. This one has party puppies, cuddly koalas. We do a lot of pattern and drawing with animals and squirrels. There's a painted owl and beetles. So this one is for the people who love animals, okay? And what you do is in the little bundle, you can click on all the videos and all the coloring pages, and you have 6 projects to keep going throughout the holidays or whenever you like. Now, the other thing that I do, which is my main way of creating art with you guys, is I have an art club membership for kids. So when you're in my art club, like all these beautiful people, you can find a whole library of art projects, and I add art projects every single week. So you get a new project to do every week, and it's a membership. So you can stay for as long as you want. So there are a few options. I just wanted to tell you those because our art party ends on Thursday and you might want to keep going. Okay, that's enough of that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get my next bit of paper because I'm ready for rockets. Are you guys ready? So let's put this aside. I don't need this right now. I'm going to put this down. So I want you to get your fresh bit of paper, please. Can you do that? And let's put it on in front of us. Are you ready? And what we need colored markers. We need crayons. I'm going to do my outlines with a black Sharpie marker. And I've got my scissors and glue. Okay. Harry and Ollie added an international space station. That is absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see those. Now, if you're not ready, what I would suggest you do is get your paper and your marker out and do the drawing. Maybe you can come back to painting the black background, but I really want you to go ahead and do the drawing with us. So let's go ahead, hold up your black marker. I can kind of feel, is everyone holding it up? I can't see you. Oh, I think we are ready. We're holding up our black marker. The first spaceship we're going to do is this one, okay? So let's go ahead and draw it. You can draw it wherever you want because we're going to cut it out. So let's see. At the very top, maybe I'll draw mine here. I want you to do a upside down curve, like a rainbow arch, just like that. Now, you know what? If you're not up to this, you could just jump and follow us for the second rocket. You do not have to do 2 rockets. So if you're still painting, that's another option. You can follow us for the second rocket. Okay, now the next thing, I'm going to do a curve that comes the other way at the bottom, just like that. And I'm going to put another little curve underneath, like it's got a little edge. And maybe I might just do a little line at this side and a little line at this side. So it's got like a little edge to it. Okay, the next line is this bit of this little spaceship thing. Okay, so it looks like this. On the left, I'm going to draw a curved line out. On the right, I'm going to do the same thing, a bit of a curved line out. And then I want you to use your finger, start at 1 and dip it down, around, 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 and back up to join. So it looks like this. Around, 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 back up to join. Okay, that's pretty much the shape. Okay, if you want to, let's add 2 little kind of feet as if it's going to land on a planet. It needs something to land on, so I'm going to do 2 little strokes with a circle at the bottom, and maybe over here. 2 little strokes and then a circle at the bottom. So this has the option to do heaps of different patterns, and it's really up to you. You could put stars, stripes, crisscross. You could do little circle windows, whatever you like. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do some circle windows. So I'm going to put a circle with a smaller one inside, and maybe I'm going to put 3 of those. A circle with a smaller one inside, and then 1 more. And the rest of the pattern, I'm going to use my crayons and markers to color in. So that is spaceship number 1. Put a number 1 in the comments. Have you done spaceship number 2? Number 1. Because the next one, it's a bit bigger, and it's actually a rocket. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this rocket for our second spaceship. So if you are just joining in, you can go ahead and just do this rocket if you want to. Lots of you have done this one, so let's do the next. Here we go. For this one, let's draw it horizontally across your page. So it's going straight across your page. And I want you to do this shape right in the middle of your page. So here's the middle. I want you to do it right in the middle. So here I go. I'm doing a big upside down U shape like this, right in the middle of the page. And then I'm going to do the same like we did for the other spaceship. I'm going to go a little curved line, just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to start back here. I'm going to start at the kind of tail end of my rocket. So leave a bit of a gap. I am going to draw a straight line. So let's see, I've got about a 4-finger gap between. I've got a straight line. And then if you want to use your finger, it's kind of a good idea. Look what I'm doing. I'm going to go curve, jump over this little porthole, curve. Then I'm going to come around, back, and join. So I'm doing this line, around like that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start here. It's going to curve up, touch the little porthole, jump over, around. I'm coming, curving and turning back because that's the tip of the rocket. Back, 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 and joining up. Looks pretty symmetrical. Sometimes I do them really wonky, and if you did a little wonky, don't worry, because we're adding flames and little wings, so it still look great. So one thing that's fun is adding like a little point, like a really big triangle at the end of the rocket, just here. And another thing is the little wings. Do you want to go ahead and add the wings? So my wings look like this. I'm going to start at the end. I'm going to curve down. And then at this point, I'm just going to come back and meet my rocket, just like that. So whatever I did there, I can do this here as well. I'm going to curve down. And then I'm at that point coming back, 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 back to meet my rocket. And I'm trying to make them the same. I don't think mine are exactly the same, but that is good enough for me. Do you know what we're missing? What do you think we're missing? Can you tell the person next to you? We are missing the flames. Rockets, when they shoot off the ground, they create all these beautiful flames. So this is how I'm going to draw my flames. The first thing, I'm going to draw a little line out on an angle at the end of the rocket and at the other side too. So 2 lines out on an angle, and then I'm going to join them with a straight line, just like that. Now my flames are going to be spiky, but don't do them too spiky because remember we've got to cut them out, okay? So here I go. I'm going to start here and I'm going to go up and then spike back, up, spike back. I'm not going to do 2 tiny ones, just mine are kind of quite big, and I think that's good because I've got to cut that out, so I don't want it too crazy. Okay, we have our outline. It is up to you to come up with a pattern. You can do any type of design. Maybe you want to add an astronaut in there. Maybe you want to do like a little wiggly swirl or stripes. Let's go ahead and add whatever pattern with our marker that you like. I'm going to go ahead and show you this design. So for here, right in the middle of my rocket, I'm going to do a really long, skinny oval just here. And maybe up here, I'm doing a curve line and another curve line to separate the little kind of fronts of the rocket to the back. And then for me, I'm going to draw a straight line all the way through, jumping over this shape here, straight line, and maybe here too. So make it a little thicker. So I think for me that looks fun. Maybe I did stripes here, which I really like, but I'm going to add stars for mine. So you might want to do this, but you might want to add something totally different. So I am happy with you to go ahead and add whatever kind of patterns and color you like. And we are going to get out our crayons and our markers in just a minute to color this in. So I've got stars on my rocket. What have you got on your rocket? What have you decided to put on your rocket? Maybe some big polka dots might look fun. You guys, if you're in my art club, you know that I love polka dots. My wall in my art room is polka dots. So we have circles and stripes from somebody. That's a great idea. I think I'm going to do stripes. You've given me inspiration. So up here, I'm going to color these all different. I'm going to do stripes just here, and that's it. That's all I need to do because I'm ready for my crayons and my markers. If you're ready, put away your Sharpie marker. If you're still drawing, don't worry. You go ahead and do that because the coloring is easy. It's totally up to you what you want to use. So maybe we'll just kind of jump back up to our little spaceship here, and we're going to color both, and you can cut out both or just one. Okay, someone is putting words on their spaceship, like the letter of their name. That's a really good idea because if it's in space, you'd be able to see your name on the amazing rocket. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to color. And I have decided with my crayons and my markers, I'm going to go with this pink. And I'm going to put some pink polka dots. And then I'm going to color over it with crayon. So markers first with my pattern. And then I'm going to color it over the top with crayons. So pink polka dots for me. And maybe you have done little stripes on this one, or maybe you just want to color it in one color. That is a really good option as well. So I'm doing pink polka dots, and I'm going to color in the little portholes blue, and then I'm going to get my crayons out. So I always like, guys, if you are just joining today, because we mentioned this yesterday, I always like the small sections with my markers and the bigger sections with my crayons. That way we don't waste too much of our marker ink, and we save some sections to be really bold. So this is a really small bit. So I could definitely go ahead and put markers on that one, just like that. Now, what color should I do the little feet? I'm thinking that I'm going to do yellow here. So maybe an orange might be good for the little feet. What kind of colors are yours going to be? You might find in these lessons that I really love all colors. I really love like rainbow, all different colors. So my artworks are never very muted or dull. I always have heaps and heaps of colors in my artworks because I think that's really fun. Okay, let's go ahead. For me, I'm using yellow. What colors are you using? Do you want to tell me? What colors are your spaceship? And I'm just going to go yellow, yellow, yellow for this whole section. So if you are up to coloring, let's go ahead and start on this one, and then we're going to color in this one too. And then what we will do is cut it out and stick it on our spacey background. And by that time, I'm pretty sure it should be dry. So here I go with this yellow. Now, crayons are so great. They are one of the best supplies to have in your art kits because you can never have too many. They're very inexpensive, but they're really smooth and quick to use. And I really love the coverage of the color. Okay, so I have my yellow, and let's see, maybe I'm going to do something colorful like this green. I'm going to do a green. Someone said, what is it? Rainbow. Ellie's is rainbow. Oh, we've got some more rainbow, and someone is blue, green, and orange. That's a really fun color scheme. So I'm going to do green up here. So I'm going to color this bit in with my crayon as well. And I'm going to start with a dark green just for this section. I might blend into a light green. So yesterday with our cake, we did some blending, and I've got two colors here with blending, ones that go really well together. So dark green, light green. They're really easy to blend. So I think I'm going to try that. I'm going to do some really, really dark green, pressing really hard. And then as I move up here, I get lighter. So that's how we blend. We press hard with one color, the darker one. And then I get really, really light as a feather on the page, just at the top. And now I'm going to grab my other color, which is my light green, and I'm going to go over the top. I'm going to go over the top, and I can see them both blending in together. So if you want to try a bit of a blend, this is a good spot because it's not too big, but there's enough space there to blend in two colors. Okay, we have spaceship number 1 done. Tell me, are you ready for spaceship 2? If you're ready for spaceship 2, put a number 2 in the comments. I am just going to color in these little portholes. I didn't really like that blue I used. I'm going to use a different one. This light blue, and then I'm going to move on to spaceship 2. Oh, okay. Spaceship number 2. Some of you are still coloring this. That is fine. Go ahead, keep coloring this because this part is exactly the same. I know you know what to do with this part. So for me, I'm going to start nice and slow down here. So if you're still on your little spaceship, I cannot wait to see, and you keep doing that. I know exactly that you know what to do here because all we're doing is coloring in again. So I'm going to use my markers to color in my star. Who put stars? Did some of you go ahead and put stars on your second spaceship? Did you put stars? Or maybe you put polka dots? And actually, I definitely want to know, did anyone add an astronaut? Has anyone got somebody sitting in their little spaceship flying off into space? Do you know what? My husband really actually wants to go to space. He's the type of person, if someone invited him to jump on a spaceship, he would go. I would never go to space. I think it's too scary. Would you go to space? You could let me know. Would you jump on a spaceship if someone invited you tomorrow to go to the moon? Would you go to space or not? I'm too scared. I'm too scared of heights, and I don't like being so far in orbit. I even don't like takeoff on planes. It kind of scares me. Someone put an alien. Fabulous. I never even thought of an alien. What a great idea. Lots of you are saying, no, you wouldn't go to space. Oh, some of you said you would. You guys are crazy. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to use my crayon and I'm going to do some blue in this part of my spaceship. Lots of you said, no, you wouldn't because it's too scary. I agree with you. And someone said aliens are in their spaceships. Crazy, crazy, crazy aliens. That sounds really fun. So I'm going to color in this part of my spaceship blue. And then I think I might do some blue and purpley kind of stripes on my second spaceship. So how are those backgrounds going? Are they drying? I'm having a look at mine. Mine looks pretty dry because once we have colored this in, we're going to cut it out and we're pasting it on. And that is going to finish off our art lesson for today. And I cannot wait to see these. Remember to take a photo and put them in your comments. Someone is telling me they would absolutely go to space. Wow, you're so brave. I would say that's pretty brave. But you haven't convinced me, guys. I still wouldn't go to space. Oh, someone put NASA on their spaceship. Good on you. There is somewhere I would go. I definitely would go visit NASA in America because I've heard that it's an amazing place to visit, the NASA Center. Okay. For me, I have dark blue and purple on my spaceship up here. So I'm going to add those as well. I'm going to do these in markers because they're not very big shapes. So I always like to outline and then color back and forth, just like that. There we go. So guys, after today, after we do our spaceships, do you know what's next? After we do these spaceships, at the end of the lesson, I want you to hang in there because I'm going to show you what we are creating tomorrow. It's going to be really tropical and fun. I am going to show you tomorrow. So I am going to finish off these stripes, and you let me know, which part of your artwork are you coloring in? Are you coloring in spaceship or rocket number 2? Or maybe you're up here. Which part of the project are you coloring in? Because the next step after this is to cut it out. And you know what? You don't have to cut out both. Sometimes it might be a little tricky to cut out both, but you could just cut out one if you wanted. So this is just looking very blue. I think I'm going to have to add a different color to my rocket. So which one are you up to? Are you up to rocket 1 or spaceship 2? Oh, lots of you are up to this one like I'm doing. That's great. I think, let's see, I've got this magenta or a purple. Let's try. Sometimes I like to test it before I go ahead and color. So I just put a little dot to test if I think that's okay. Lots of you are up to spaceship 2, so that is fantastic. All right, I'm going to do purple. That was okay for this section, but I think I need something brighter. So the next one, I'm going to do this like pinky purple. Okay, so markers are happening for me on my little stripy spaceship. And then I might go ahead and use some crayons for the flames and for the wings. So someone's up to cutting. Good on you. If you're cutting, that's a great thing to be doing next. I am going to just finish off my little rocket here, and then that's what I'm going to be doing too. So do you know, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Someone might know. Do you know what it's called when we cut and paste and glue things together? Do you know what type of art that is called? Have you got any ideas? It's called a special word in art when you cut out and you paste things on top of each other. Does anyone know what that process is called? Destruction? No, it is not called that. Good guess, though. It's not called destruction. It's called something else when you cut and paste. I have got a few of you commenting right now. Yes, you're correct. It's called collage. That's right. So when you cut out things and you paste them together, you are collaging things together. That's it. So today we are actually drawing here. We are painting the background and we're doing collage. 3 amazing art skills that I always love to include in my art room. And you are doing a little taste of that today. How fun is that? So which part are you up to? Are you doing drawing? Are you doing painting? Or are you doing collage right now? So you can go ahead and use those words when you're explaining what you did in our art class and which part of the project is which. Right now I'm doing drawing. In the beginning, I was doing painting. And then next, I'm going to be doing collage. So I want you to talk about your art using those words because it makes you sound like you know exactly what you're doing. And it's really, really clever. Okay, I'm finished with my markers for this section, and I'm going to color in the flames. Okay, lots of people are drawing. You're telling me you're drawing, which is perfect. That's what I'm doing as well. And I'm going to go ahead and color in the wings. I'm going to do orange and a bit of yellow. So I mix my crayons and my markers. Do you do that too? It's a really fun way to do your drawing is mix the colors together. So I'm going to go ahead and do orange on the outside of my wing. And I'm going to leave a little space and do yellow in the middle. Okay. Now, some of you guys are cutting. So that is a process in collage. That's it. Cutting, pasting. And once you put it all together, it's called collage. So well done. You guys are speedy. And here I go up here for the second wing, and I'm doing orange and yellow as well. I'm nearly up to cutting. I think most of us are probably still drawing. And once we've cut it out, you kind of got to decide where are you going to place it on your beautiful spacey background. Where is it? Now, some of you are joining me from Sydney, and I know some of you in Sydney are in lockdown. Do you know that we had a lockdown in Melbourne? I'm in Melbourne, so I know all about lockdown, and I hope that you're having fun with these lessons when you can't do all those other activities. Okay, here I go with my flames. I am coloring in my flames orange. Do you think I should add red or maybe keep yellow? I think I'm going to go ahead and keep my flames orange and yellow. What are you doing? Are you doing red? Or maybe you're doing like blue flames. Maybe you've chosen to do something totally different. Okay, so I think I've got yellow and orange for me. And I have 2 little bits extra to color. And then I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out. Okay, so for me, I'm just going to do a few little stripes on this section. And I'm going to use my gray for the, what's this called? I'm not sure. The little bubble at the top of my rocket. And this is, if you haven't done this yet, I kind of like this idea. If you've got a gray or a light blue, you can start at the top, do a bit of a curved line, and then you can color in half of it. So it almost looks like the glass is like a little reflective. So I think that's what I will do, and I'm just going to leave it like that. There we go. Okay. I have 2 rockets. Do you know we've been coloring for half an hour? Wow, that is a lot of time. So even if you're still coloring, that is fine. I want you to finish coloring, and you can do this section in a minute. I need to take mine off, and I need to cut out. So you can decide, do you want to cut out both and put them on your picture, or do you want to cut out just one? So if you're a little bit slower and you're still coloring, then I say maybe just cut out one, because look, it still looks really cool with just one. So what I want to show you with your cutting, I am going to cut out this rocket first, and what I'm going to do is cut out all the excess paper. So look, I'm just going to cut out all this excess paper. So now it's a little easier to handle, and it's a little easier to cut. So if you have finished cutting, some of you have, glue it on. Place it somewhere cool. Have a look. Does it look good? And then you can glue it on and have a look. But you might want to stick around to the end, because I'm going to show you the amazing art project that we are doing tomorrow. So if you have a parent nearby and you're super little artists, some of you I know are 4 or 5, you want to kind of grab them and they might help you go ahead and cut it out. But I am going to go ahead and cut out both of mine. Maybe I might cut out 1 or 2. Let me see. I'm just going to have a look. So I'm going to cut out rocket number 1. And I'm going to place it on top of my artwork and see what it looks like. Now, some of you are finished. Marco says he is done. Well done, Marco. Now, if you are done, you get a little head start on taking a photo and putting it in the comments, because I'm going to go ahead and share some little artist work tomorrow as well. Don't forget, guys, those art bundles, I made them especially for you to do during school holidays. So you can go ahead and take a look at which little video art lessons you think work for you. The fantasy one with like the fairies and the mermaids, or even the animals, cool creatures. Cool. So many of you are done. Well done. So I'm up to this little spiky flames. They're kind of tricky. So I'm just going to cut them out really carefully, and then I'm going to paste it on top of my finished artwork. So I'm excited to see where you guys put yours. Where did you glue them? Did you glue them kind of going straight up like a rocket like this? Or was it on a bit of an angle? One rocket is done for me. Let's see where it can go. Okay, I'm going to put this back up here. Now let's see. You could kind of have it going up, straight up like this. I think maybe on a bit of an angle might suit mine. Do you know what? You can even have it coming off the page. That could look fun too. You could glue a little bit and it's kind of shooting off the page. Now I want to see what this one looks like as well. So I'm just going to quickly cut out this one too. And you know what, guys? If you are still cutting, I suggest just cut out one of your beautiful spaceships and glue on one because it still really looks good. I'm just really curious. What two might look like on my spaceship background or my spacey background. So are you ready for cutting, or are you gluing, or are you finished? I am so excited to see these. Do you know I've done this project with my Zoom art class before? So some of you join me for Zoom, and that's something that I really love to do, and I still have spots next term. If you want to do Zoom art classes, we join up once a week, just like this, and we do art. And we did this in our Zoom art class. Okay, so let's see. Here and maybe here. What do you think? Do you think that looks great? Or let's switch it around. Maybe this little spaceship could be on the sun, or maybe it would kind of turn into flames if that was the case, and maybe up like this. It's a tricky decision. I think I'm going to put one here, and then I think I'm going to put one up here, and it's going to go off the page just a little bit. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Deciding where to place it can be really tricky sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and glue with my glue stick. So if you are still cutting out, don't worry. I want you to just finish off cutting, and you can kind of paste it on when you're ready. So this one is going to come here, just here, or maybe a little bit here. I want to see some of that little comet still behind. Okay, great. He looks great. He's like flying in front of the sun. Okay, and now I have my second one. And can you tell me in the comments, did you glue on one spaceship or rocket, or two? Did you do one or two? Because let's see, where could this go? What I want to do is I'm probably not going to put it here because that's right on top of my Saturn. I might put it a little bit in the space, or maybe up here. Maybe here is great. Just in between these two planets. It's poking off my page, but I don't mind. It can kind of be poking out. And I think it is done. My space and rocket background. So some of you guys are gluing on one rocket. Some of you got two. And you know what? I can't wait to see all of them. I think they're going to look fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is show you our art lesson for tomorrow. And then I'm going to say goodbye. So here is our tropical sleepy sloth. This is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Here is our sleepy sloth, and he is surrounded by a jungle of leaves in the background. We are doing heaps of beautiful bright colors for our sleepy sloth. That's happening tomorrow, so I can't wait to see you then. And you know what? If you're in Melbourne, this is for you. We are doing a very similar project at Art Camp next week. So if you're in Melbourne and you want to come do art with me in my studio, we are going to be creating, can you see this? It is a whole tropical jungle. And look, here's our little sleepy sloth. There's a little cheetah a frog, toucan. So that's what we are doing at art camp, plus a whole lot more. So that's for Melbourne people. And for all of you, here is our Sleepy Sloth artwork for tomorrow. So I can't wait to see you. And I also cannot wait to see all your spaceships and your rockets and your beautiful artwork. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I want you to go ahead and post a photo of your art in the comments and go ahead and tell people about the art party, because I think this is a really fun way to spend your holidays. And I know lots of little people would love to join in as well. So go ahead, tell all your friends, and I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Okay. Bye, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.